Now, the reason there's vultures around here, there's also a couple of them flying around. The lions have made a kill not too far north of here, and unfortunately it's into an area that we can't go. It's on one of the neighboring properties, but the good thing of that is that the closest drinking point for those lions is this dam. So there's a very good chance. We saw a few tracks just now coming down here, maybe towards this afternoon, late afternoon if we're lucky, or otherwise tomorrow morning. There could be a whole bunch of lions coming for their after eat the water. So close eye on this waterhole for the rest of the afternoon, and then, like I said, tomorrow morning as well. This is obviously not eating too much in that carcass yet. In the beginning the lions won't allow them on that much, but they're happy to wait their time, bide their time. They know that food will be there for them. It's one of the benefits of being a scavenger, is that you must just be patient enough. It's very, very dead, so it's more a matter of just waiting for it. Beautiful vultures there. Again, perfectly adapted for scavenging, especially these guys. They're not as big as some of the other vulture species. Also get the leopard-faced vulture around here, which is a massive, massive bird, 2-meter wingspan. It's more than 7 feet wingspan. And large birds, your white-backed vulture as well.
These guys' heads are quite pale. Sometimes they're very pink. These guys' heads are quite pale. Sometimes they're very pink. Beautiful view area of these two vultures on the little point of dry land there, as this waterhole is now drying up a little bit, or not drying up, maybe just sort of becoming smaller. Over the next few months it'll get smaller and smaller until the main deep section of the dam will remain. You have all these little pools and wallows opening up that animals will utilize, and these two vultures just sitting on a tip of dry land there. It's very beautiful, sort of the water in the background and foreground. Interspecific, where there's really competing for the food, lots of fighting and a lot of behavioral competition as well, where they have their wings open and lots of noise and jump at each other with their talons. Great birds too.
to watch. It's turning into a whole flock of vultures here. This is really awesome. We're going to sit here. There's quite a few more flying around as well, so a bit of luck, you might even have 2 or 3 more joining. You can see a little bit of behavior there as well as that other bird flew in. Again, just reminding each other of who's bigger and who's stronger. Also 1 or 2 of these new birds that have landed now, like Helen said earlier, they've got that more sort of characteristic.
And those other ones are juveniles probably with the paler.
Yeah, especially the beginning, that the first 2, the one of them had a lot of sort of down feathers still.
I love how they walk.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun to watch in all aspects. What vultures do as well, and again it varies a little bit between your different species of vulture, but they can cover enormous areas looking for carrion or looking for something to scavenge from. Some species can have home ranges of up to 600 kilometers in radius, so you're talking about 400 miles plus that they can fly in distance. They can go to incredible heights. The highest recorded bird ever was a vulture at 36,000 feet. That's over 10 kilometers off the ground, and it was recorded. He sucked it into its engine, and that's how they know the heights of it. I mean, it's virtually impossible to imagine something flying up there. The oxygen levels are down to about 0. It's freezing cold, so they can cover enormous distances, these birds, and then obviously incredible kilometers from the ground where we wouldn't even be able to see the vultures. They could spot something to fly down to and go eat. So that's what they do most of the time. Especially early mornings, you often see them. If you get closer to maybe some big hilly areas or cliff faces, they use the thermal, so they try not to use too much energy flying. You can imagine a big heavy bird to fly up to that height would be an enormous amount of energy, so they big broad wings, and they can just glide on currents and use the fire. That's why you quite often see vultures circling as well. It's not always because there's food, that's one of the reasons, but normally when there's food they try and get down there as quick as they can, because there will be lots of other vultures to compete with. So quite often when you see vultures just lazily sort of circling around, it's because they've got a nice thermal that they can ride to get height with. For the moment, these guys are more just interested in water, so I'm not going to talk too much. We'll not talk much more. I'm already talking too much.